Julie St. Gregory. I do marketing and volunteer management for the San Jose Animal Care Center. We take in stray animals from the city of San Jose and from 4 other cities here. So those animals include dogs, cats, rabbits, even wildlife, which we transfer to the Wildlife Center. We take in approximately 17,500 animals every year. So the animals come in. This is a place where their owners can look for them and hopefully be reunited. If they're not reunited, the animal is tested and evaluated and for adoption. If he passes behavior, then he goes on to a medical evaluation, passes medical, then he gets spayed and neutered and goes up for adoption. The main reason animal shelters exist is for rabies control, because you get in your third world countries and people die from rabies and from rabid animals running around. We don't have this in this country because we have rabies laws, and we have shelters to enforce those laws and make sure that people are licensing their animals and giving them vaccines. So when animals are running around and they don't have homes and there's breeding indiscriminately, it costs the taxpayers money for our 8 government agencies to be responsible for picking up those animals, bringing them to a shelter, caring for them, and possibly euthanizing them. So just in basic fact, if they don't care about animals, I'm sure they care about the cost to their pocketbook. Well, San Jose does have a problem with feral cats, but it's really not any different from most any city around. Feral cats are all over the place, mainly because cats are great caretakers of themselves oftentimes, and when people abandon them or allow them to have litters and let the litters run wild, cats have to take care of themselves, and so they're prolific breeders. So what we have here at the animal shelter that we instituted, and we're renowned for this. Our animal shelter director flies all over the country and is going to soon be going to New Zealand to be the keynote speaker there about the San Jose feral cat program. And it's called the Feral Freedom Program. And when people bring cats to us and they trap them and they bring them in, what we do is we spay and neuter them, we tip their ears, and we also vaccinate them and put flea treatment on them, and we have volunteers from a rescue agency take them right back to where they were found, if they are truly feral, and release them. So they're still taking care of themselves. They can't breed anymore. And people are under the mistaken belief that if I round up all the cats in my neighborhood and take them out, then it's going to be great. But what happens is they get more cats than ever because they've created a vacuum. And when you have cats living there that have already been spayed and neutered and can't procreate anymore, they keep other cats from that territory, and it actually keeps the number of cats down when spayed and neutered feral cats are brought back to the same location. Generally, we take in about 17,000 animals here. We adopt approximately 3,500 a year. Another 3,500 to 4,000 are taken by our rescue groups. Another 3,000 are reclaimed by their owners. So whatever's left, that's the number that's euthanized. And I will say, for a government-run shelter, we have a 76% live save rate. And that is fantastic for a shelter. That, animals at a shelter are in need of homes. The ones at the breeders, they're already being taken care of. They're not going to be euthanized because they're going to wait to get their money. So an animal at the shelter needs to have a home because there's more animals coming right behind it that need space, that cage space. So I would just tell everyone, please be kind and consider a shelter animal. They're just as deserving as, one that's a purebred. Most of the time, unless they're puppies, They've already had all of their shots. They're always spayed and neutered. You know, the price that we put on our adoption fees doesn't even recover nearly any of the costs that it takes to take care of them. You know, and we often have promotions and things, so you can get a wonderful pet for, you know, without hardly spending anything. I mean, just morally, why are you going to put some money in somebody's pocket that breeds animals? For every person that buys an animal, that's one less home for a shelter animal. So they're essentially, you know, killing an animal, because that leaves somebody here that isn't going to be adopted because they've gone elsewhere for money. Well, I mean, I think it bears out the fact that there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of animal shelters across the country with millions of adoptions every year. So, you know, and people are very, very happy with many of the animals that they adopt from the animal shelter. There's no way we could get into an animal's mind just like a person. You know, people have different moods and predict what the animal's going to do. But we can say that if you treat an animal right, the way you're supposed to, you take it to training and you take care of it and you keep it in the house so that it's part of the family, you do all those things and you're going to have a good pet. Animals have an innate gratefulness, and they're very, very grateful when, you know, a person gets them out of a situation where they're scared or where they're hungry or stressed out. You know, love is universal language. You love anything, you know, just like you take care of flowers and, you know, give it TLC, it's going to blossom and bloom. And same thing with an animal. Very, very grateful and loyal to their people when they rescue them. So, I mean, there's different ways people can help. There's always something that you can do. If you're not able to take another animal into your home permanently, you might be able to foster an animal. We have lots of kittens that need a little start for a few weeks because they get sick in the shelter till they grow to a certain point. So you can foster little kittens in a cage for a few weeks. You can donate towels and blankets to your animal shelter. You can donate money to your animal shelter, because that ultimately is what pays for surgeries for, you know, something that the city doesn't cover. You can come in and volunteer and walk, you know, dogs and socialize cats. You can help us with the laundry. There's just a myriad of things. When we have promotions, you can take flyers and post them up. So it doesn't have to cost you anything to help out. And everything every person does to help out is a benefit. So if you find an injured animal, rely on your instincts and see if you can safely take that animal to your local animal shelter. You want a blanket, you want a towel, because injured animals, you know, are often in great pain. If you cannot do that, then call your local animal agency and they will send somebody out to come and pick it up. And you know, that's one of our highest priority calls are injured animals. You can take a feral kitten. I mean, if you see a feral kitten and there's a litter of kittens and you want to, I'm sure you don't want to take the whole litter, you know, but it depends. At about 2 months of age, once those kittens are not exposed to human beings anymore, it gets harder and harder and harder for them to trust and be a good house pet. By the time they're 4 months of age, it's almost impossible to tame them if they're feral. So you have to get them really, really teeny if they're going to be, you know, if you're going to get a feral kitten. You know, you might as well just get one from the shelter that's already spayed, neutered, vaccinated, and, you know, has been socialized by volunteers. So at a very, very inexpensive price.